Number 5, Rashad Pompey. Number 4, Terrell Thomas. Number 3, Cody Andrews. Number 2, Richie Bruno. Number 17, Miles Romain. Number 7, Reynard Thomas. Number 20, Kadim Ellis. Number 8, Chad Lewis. The team is coached by Joey Callis. GTC Radio, St. John Sports, starting lineup. Number 1, Richard Houston in goal. Your captain, number 8, Oswald Phillips. Number 16, Clint Paisady. Number 15, Kiwani Marshall. Number 2, Akimo Andrews. Number 4, Kabido Langain. Number 6, Shamin Williams. Number 20, Cody Macfield. Number 10, Chevon Sampson. Number 17, Telvin Samuel. And number 11, Terrell DeCoto. The team is coached by Ali DeBellot. The referees for today's match, Devon Roberts in the middle. He's assisted by Clement Alexander and Kessie Phillip. His fourth official, Akim Benjamin. The referee assessor for this match, Ernest Richardson.
We say a special welcome and good evening to you wherever you are throughout the world as we bring to you live the second match in day 1 of the 11th anniversary of the Waggy-T Knockout Football Tournament. We're here live at the Kiani James Athletic Stadium. Game 2 would feature Honved FC against the GTC Radio St. John Sports. And to bring you the live commentary, we have Keith Patrick and myself, Leslie Smith. Honved in the green and white, and St. John Sports in the blue. Patrick, game 2, we saw a goal fest in game 1. Any early expectations for game 2?
Well,
looking at, we have a Premier League team here, St. John Sports against a conference team, Honved FC.
I would hope that the encounter would be closer, but I think we should give ourselves a little time, probably first 5-10 minutes, to see the structure of play, and probably then I could maybe assume a prediction. But I will hope that we get a better quality of game, for specifically for the fans who are here at the stadium and those of persons who are watching and listening to us all over the world.
Well, I'm looking at the lineups of both teams, and I can tell you the GTC Radio St. John Sports has in the lineup quite a number of very experienced and talented players, the likes of a Chevon Sampson, even a Kabido Langain, a Shamin Williams. As we see here, maybe a first opportunity here by St. John Sports. Honved caught napping in the early stages, but it's always good to see which team comes off the block firing first and fast.
Yes, certainly. Just by the first couple of minutes that we are seeing here, I could definitely allude to the fact that we are going to be seeing a better quality of football in this second encounter. I've just watched the passing, the movement on the ball by the St. John Sports, and in particular the Honved defense play, and I think we are going to be getting a better quality of game. But St. John Sports has been a team which has been outstanding for the last 5 or so years. They have made it in the first 3 in the GFA competitions. They have played outstandingly in the other Waggy-T and other Pure Grenada Cup competitions. So I think this afternoon, and as you alluded to the fact that they have some of the players who are outstanding and playing for Grenada. So we're looking forward to a good game here. And it's football. Any team can win. It's not in concrete, but definitely you can see how St. John Sports is moving the ball around, and the play is going to be a better standard of play here in the second encounter.
Well, time alone will tell, as St. John Sports looking to make an attack down the right-hand side. Cross comes in, and the defense had to concede a corner here. So the first corner of the match being awarded to St. John Sports. St. John Sports would come in as the favorite. As we've just mentioned, they have quite a number of ex-national players in the lineup. Corner taken, not much St. John Sports players inside of the penalty area. Maybe it's early stage and they may be not wanting to commit themselves too early for fear of exposing themselves at the back. But if we look at the Honved team in general and Honved over the years, Keith, you would know that Honved was a major team in national soccer, a major team to be reckoned with over the years with the likes of a Kenton Fry Roberts and others, Tickis Bernard, etc.
Certainly. We had Bog Belfont. You had Chris. You had Bob Hope. You had Hood. And you had all of these outstanding players. They had outstanding goalkeeping services offered to them. But over the years, Honved has weighed. And quite frankly, this might sound controversial, but since the advent of the stadium here at this area, a lot of the clubs who played very strongly, namely the Carnage outfit, the Honved outfit, the Riverwood outfit, even the Point outfit, those teams now do not have the access to the stadium where they usually trained, and that has brought down a demise. And you can see it with Honved Club, you can see it with Fontenay United, you can see it even with the Queen's Park Rangers outfit.
Well, Honved would have to make a name for themselves here in the Waggy-T Super Knockout Tournament. They're the more inexperienced team here tonight. But the field is wrong. The field is flat. The ball is wrong.
Yeah,
11 v 11.
Yeah, and anything can happen. Yeah.
So I know Kenton Fryer must be somewhere there in the stands. He's one of the ardent followers and organizers.
He's actually the assistant coach to the outfit here tonight.
Ali Di Bellot, a very experienced coach for St. John Sports. But I've had stints at the national senior team and some of the age groups national teams as well.
Not only that, he has been very instrumental for many, many years as a coach in the Ministry of Sport. He played both football and cricket at a national level. And he is a renowned commentator. And he's a very experienced person. But I'm always of the view that good coaches are needed, but it's the players to really affect the style of play, the plan, and all of those things. But St. John Sports is going to be a handful this afternoon. I have no doubt about that.
Well, we're just about maybe in the 6th minute of play, and neither teams, I would say, have really settled into any rhythm of sort, and both teams are still trying to find their own. But St. John Sports maybe a little bit more purposeful. They had an opportunity on goal already, and time will tell which team settles down faster or the fastest and which team is able to maintain composure. But here comes Honved down the right-hand side, and that's it. Raymond Thomas been pushed off the ball. Here's Raymond Thomas. Maybe disproportionate force, but referee Robert saying there's nothing here, let's play on. Honved with a long kick forward, looking to find his man who's caught in an offside position. And that looks like Chow Lewis. Cody Marshall for St. John Sports. Strong tackle here from Honved. Losing out to skipper Phillips. Skipper Phillips playing out wide on the left-hand side. Honved with some possession on the left-hand side. Defense call to duty here as we see Clint Pysady. So, Keith, early stages, both teams still trying to find their feet, find their rhythm, so to speak. And our expectation is that one team would find that quicker than the other and really stamp the dominance in the game?
Well, in my assessment, I think this game is going to be a better standard game. I think Honved is going to be more competitive than the team that lost in the first encounter, and I don't envisage that we'll have all these goal scoring opportunities and goals, the 13 that happened in the first game. But they're both settling. They're watching, but the activity is hectic at the moment. The game is playing very, very fast, and I expect after maybe half an hour or so, things will settle, and we'll really see the true picture of what's going to happen here in the second encounter of the Waggy-T 11th edition of the knockout procedures.
Honved in the white and green. St. John Sports in the blue. Just over 8 minutes gone so far. Free kick to Honved. And behind that one is Abraham, captain of the Honved team here tonight. Chips this one forward. But it's St. John Sports who comes away with it. Looking to play that long ball down the flank. Just managed to strike it into one of the players of Honved. St. John Sports. Let's see what's the tactical ploy of Coach Ali DeBellet here. Ali DeBellet is a fan of the long overlooping ball and the runs from within the midfield. Let's see if he still maintains that kind of strategy in this modern era of the game. Another thing that Ali DeBellet's like over the years is always play with 5 at the back. Some pressure being exerted here now on Honved. As we see the shot coming in here was not a well-directed shot. He was never on top of it. And so the ball just kept going up and up.
Actually, he was very off balance. And that he didn't strike the ball in the middle of the feet. It came up the side and ricocheted outside. St. John Sports having a better of their encounter in the early stages of this game, but Honved is very resolute at the moment.
That's Abraham. Goes back to find Andrews. Andrews. Shot comes in here now from Chevron Sampson. Chevron Sampson, one player we definitely to look out for. Patrick.
Yeah, certainly. He has been very aggressive, and he's looking to score because he's shooting at every opportunity. He had 2 opportunities to shoot. They weren't on target, but nevertheless, he's very dangerous. And now that he's shooting again, he's on a very aggressive forward.
So St. John's Sports putting on some pressure now.
Yes,
that was Terrell DeCoto, who had a sniff on goal here. Corner.
Honved
to be taken by
is going to have a handful here tonight.
the youngster Sherman Williams, who just missed out on a place on the national U17 team by maybe a couple of months, and was featured on the St. Mark's Western Stars team for the recently concluded Pure Grenada Cup. So a youngster just about 17 years old, Sherman Williams, want to look out for the future, definitely.
Certainly.
Honved looking to come forward through the middle of the field. Swings it over to the right now, looking to find maybe Raymond Thomas, unable to do so. Some hesitation here by goalkeeper Houston for St. John Sports. And that hesitation almost gave an opportunity here to Honved, but he recovered nicely in the end. St. John Sports concentrated a lot of their attacks on the right-hand side, but they may also want to look towards the left where they have their skipper Oswald Phillips. Honved here looking to come forward, losing the ball and grabbing the opponent in the process. Obviously, referee Roberts has been right there, and that infringement has been committed by Lewis.
The game is playing at a much quicker pace than the first encounter. The quality and standard of the skill by the St. John Sports is much better, and therefore I think this encounter is going to be much closer this afternoon.
Well, both teams are playing for a berth into the second round of the tournament. It's a knockout, so lose and go home,
Win and stay in.
win and fight on. Honved putting together some nice passes from the defense into the midfield and up to the forwards. A good speed here by the youngster down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper comes off his line and makes the timely save. But that was a strong run here by Kellon Moore down the left-hand side. He was closed down quickly by goalkeeper Houston, but could have created a moment of anxiety here for the defense of St. John Sports.
Certainly.
St. John Sports now looking to maybe return the favor to Honved. Foul in the middle of the field. Foul committed here on Cody Marshall. I think what St. John Sports being the team with the greater experience on the field. If I was Coach Ali Bella, this is what I'll be saying to my players. Let's slow the game down. Let's play position football. Let's see if we can starve out and frustrate Honved. And then when we get the opportunity, let's slip the ball forward through the defense and convert our opportunities. That's what I would play rather than try to go forward on every opportunity. You know, just play position. For once your players have the skill to control and find the spaces and pass the ball in the spaces, that's what I would opt to at this point in time.
I think all the players there are fresh at the moment, and therefore you'll expect the speed with which the game is playing. But I think after 20 minutes or so, they're going to settle. There are going to be spaces on the pitch, on the field of play, and therefore both teams will, I think, have opportunities to make their mark and play and show their game plan. But at the moment, I think St. John Sports is very, very. They're playing a great ball. They're making a lot of passes. Their play is very aggressive.
Well, it's Honved who has the ball now in the middle of the field, and they still have it here. Maybe trying to do too much here was the youngster Abraham. There's another Abraham with it here on the other side. Finds his man down the left-hand side, and he finds Decoto. Decoto losing the ball, and will win maybe a free kick, or it's a free kick to Honved. So I believe the strength of the St. John Sports will obviously be down the left-hand side, but they're still concentrating a lot of their attacks on the right-hand side because they have their skipper Oswald Phillips
yeah,
on that outside left position. He's obviously a danger man for them.
and
That's
he's
him here with the ball now.
very quick.
As Decoto looking to find that man in the middle, but it's McPhail who finds Abraham, who crosses now with the left foot, but only to find the defense of Honved. Honved on a break here now, having some difficulty controlling the ball. It's a foot race here, but the goalkeeper will win this one. And he has to his left here Akim Andrews. Andrews has it here now, goes inside and finds, looks like McPhail. McPhail goes out wide and finds Abraham. Abraham curls this one here, looking for his striker Samson, but that one eludes Samson, and they'll have to reset the play altogether again. St. John Sports enjoying some good position and some dominance in the early stages. Looking the better of the two teams in terms of the accuracy of their passing and the aggression in terms of moving forward. But it's very early stages. We're still within 20 minutes of the first half. Referee Roberts having a word with a couple of the players here.
And certainly in terms of ball possession, St. John Sports has had the better of that for the entire 20 minutes.
So it's a free kick to St. John Sports, and it looks as though it's Cody McPhail. Indeed, it's Cody McPhail who's lined up behind this one. Looks like there's a three-man wall being constructed here by Honved. And let's see what the set play is here by Coach Ali DeBellot. Let's see if Cody McPhail can execute as Coach Ali DeBellot would want him to do on this occasion. Let's see if Josiah Cooper can be equally the kick is taken now and it's punched to the ground by Cooper. He recovers nicely. Wasn't going to take any chance at all in trying to grab it. So he played safe. CK Super Honved. A lot of physical play too in the early run-ins.
A lot of contact, close contact. And that certainly shows a close marking, something which we did not see in the first encounter. I think 100 is going to be competitive, maybe for the first 30 minutes or so. After that, we can make some sort of an assessment. But St. John Sports is really playing a strong game. They're moving the ball from left to right. They're playing through the middle. You can see the defense is real organized. So it's going to be a difficult night for Honved. But at the moment, they're rising to the occasion.
Foul committed on Sampson, Chevy Sampson. And a free kick awarded to St. John Sports just outside of the penalty area. A harsh tackle here being executed by Richie Bruno on Chevon Sampson. So Abraham is lined up behind this one. I'm sure he's going to curl this one to the back. That's Phillips, sorry, Aswad Phillips. I'm sure he's going to curl this one to the back of the 6-yard box looking for Chevon Sampson. But he opts to go to goal. Maybe not the smartest idea here towards the front post with the wall being constructed right in front there.
And it was a poor execution of a free kick. He took it to his left foot. He didn't strike it well. He was off balance actually. Both feet was off the air when he took the shot. So I didn't think that it didn't go goal bound.
Honved with Terrell Thomas. Honved comes over with it again in the middle of the field. And this time it's Ellis. Good position here for Honved here. But he has a chip shot sort of towards goal. It was never a very powerful shot to really force Houston to make a difficult save. In the end, it was a rudimentary take for Houston.
Certainly, I think Romain was off-footed. That should be a shot coming from his left foot. He was off balance, but nevertheless, I thought it was a good effort. And at least they had a shot on goal.
It would take quite a lot more than that to elude the experienced Russian Houston.
Yeah, he's an excellent goalkeeper. He has been for the last couple of years.
McPhail, who's obviously going to control that midfield here for St. John Sports, is back into McPhail here, who has 200 players to contend with, but he finds Phillips on the outside left position, cuts it nicely, but goes back on his favorite left foot and then crashes the ball into the side netting after it would have come off the defender.
Philip is going to be a handful on this left wing.
Well,
he's very, very skilled. You can see the control with his feet. He's very nippy.
What the defense has to do is force him to go right. Seems to be favoring the left foot quite a bit. Phillips plays the corner inside, finds his player here who had a shot of some sort on goal, but he ricocheted off a defender and it's going to be another corner on the other side of the goal for St. John Sports.
That was a dangerous situation for Honved. The ball came in, the defender wasn't aware where he was, and he wasn't aware whether the ball was going to goal. It actually could have ricocheted and gone into the goal.
Capito Langan is going to have the corner here for St. John Sports. Looking for Samson here. Unable to find him. Instead, he finds Andrews. Andrews looking to find Phillips. Phillips been heavily marked and tackled here. Wins a free kick for his team. And Akimo Andrews is going to have this one. I'm sure he's going to be looking for Chevron Sampson. And even maybe a Cody Marshall for the rebound. But look at where Phillips is. I'm not too sure if Phillips here, number 8, on that outside left, if he's making any real, unless there's a set play that's going to use as a decoy to mesmerize the defense. But the kick comes in here towards the back of the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper comes out and punches to make the clearance. But the ball is won back by St. John Sports. Cross comes in from Phillips. Some difficulty in clearing here by Honved. Still difficulty here as they managed to get it outside of the penalty area, but only partially cleared by Honved.
Miles Romain, who is playing on the left side, is having tremendous difficulty kicking with his left foot, sorry. So I think he's in a position, if you observe Smithy, if you watch that replay when the ball goes over to him, he's always awkward. A ball which should be struck with his left feet or left foot. He's trying to play it off with his right foot.
Honved with the throw in down the left hand side. But the ball won by St. John Sports. Philip pulling back to get this one. Goes out wide and find Andrews. Still with St. John Sports. Having to come back because the defense of Honved is offering them some challenge at this time. And that's why I'm saying they just need to string some passes within the middle third of the field and look for the opportunity to capitalize on a napping back line or a straight back line with that through ball and use the speed of Samson and others to really go past the defense of Honved.
The trend of the game, if you would notice, beside this passage of play right now, Honved has been defending for the last 5 or so minutes.
Shot comes in just over the bar here from Honved, and that came in from Kadim Ellis. So, against the run of play, so to speak, Honved still getting a sniff on goal and having a shot that went just over the bar. But here comes the attack. Samson with it here now. Has one man to contend with. Gets past him and gets inside of the penalty area. Looking to swing it back here now. Again, difficulty in clearing by Honved. The clearance has been made now. Finds Ellis. Ellis looking to go wide. Looking to find Miles Romain. Still with Honved down the left-hand side with Romain. Romain swings it back in. And now the looping ball being played forward by Honved, only to find the defense of St. John Sports. Here's a break here for St. John Sports. The cross comes in and it loses Chevron Sampson, who was looking maybe for Phillips coming in from the far post. Philip was not there, but Philip is inside of the penalty area now and receives the ball with his back on goal. And opts to go back to find Andrews, Akimo Andrews. Not a good pass here by Andrews. And now Honved comes away with it, but gives it back to St. John Sports. St. John Sports this time down the right-hand side. Goes past the defense nicely. He's going to chip it back towards the penalty area. It is now with McPhail. McPhail finds his compatriot there and then loses the ball to Honved. So both teams, I think, is just too rushed on moving forward and maybe not well composed inside of the penalty area. And they may be very well be
There
advised just to.
a lot of anxiety into the early moments of the game. But as I said, as the game continues and time elapses, they will settle, and you'll see a better construct and more professional play in this game.
So far, Honved holding their own against maybe a more powerful St. John Sports. Being able to keep them out so far after 28 minutes of play. St. John Sports just outside of the penalty area here with Decoto. Decoto goes wide and finds Marshall. Marshall who gets around his. What a bad miss here by the goalkeeper to give a Chevron Sampson an easy opportunity on goal. A fumble by the goalkeeper, that's goalkeeper Cooper, and gave an easy opportunity to Chevron Sampson.
I thought that was very, very poor goalkeeping. Very, very poor. He had an opportunity to grabble the ball, to collect it. He chose to try to punch the ball away, didn't get it far enough, and it was an easy lobbing. For as we watch the replay, that's a ball that the keeper should be taking.
That's a rudimentary save for any goalkeeper. I'm not sure why he was trying to push the ball forward.
He should have collected that ball very easily, and I think a bad mistake by the goalkeeper for Honved, and unmistakably they paid for that.
So it's 1-0 in favor of St. John Sports, and Honved will be hard pressed now, maybe to find an equalizer in the first half. And some disappointment here from goalkeeper Cooper, Josiah Cooper. And that may just lift the spirits and the play of the St. John Sports. It's amazing what one goal can do to either team. It can demoralize one team, and it can lift the spirit of another team.
Well, the confidence in your play and the structure of play, when you are leading and in the opposite direction, when you're behind, you're under pressure because you don't want to concede anymore. But so you have to be so careful about your play. But St. John Sports been pressing for the first 30 minutes of this game. It's not a surprise that they have scored. The fact of the matter is that it's very, very poor goalkeeping. I thought the goalkeeper should have collected that ball. But that's what it is, and so the score is at 1-0 at the moment in the 30th minute of the second encounter here in the 11th Waggy-T knockout 2020.
So corner to be taken by St. John Sports. Looking for McPhail. Again, the goalkeeper coming off his line and not taking cleanly. And he doesn't have much confidence in the air, it seems, his goalkeeper Cooper. And, a good goalkeeper gives confidence to the back line.
Precisely, to the team, in essence. And his skill in goalkeeping is left a lot to be desired. Quite frankly, he's not collecting the ball. He's not positioning himself properly. He seemed to be boxing away the ball with no great confidence. And that was going to be a problem for Honved if he continues to, and if that's the number one goalkeeper, certainly they will have a serious problem tonight.
So we see Coach Joey Kelly's offering some instructions from the sideline to his Honved players. Here the ball is easily given away to St. John Sports. Chevron Sampson here looking to find his striker. Well, look at the effort that was made here by Rashid Pompey in trying to clear the ball. And, it's just lack of composure again because there was no need for that.
He's under pressure, and that it says something about his skill because no one was attacking him at the moment. Look at this. He could have easily cool the ball, take control of it, and do whatever he wanted. But that's when you are under pressure. And Honved is under a lot of pressure at the moment. St. John Sports is pressing. They have been doing so for the last 10 minutes. And I'm wondering whether they'll be able to weather the storm.
Sampson inside of the penalty area looking to get across. Another corner here for St. John Sports. Combination between Sampson and Kabido Langain.
St. John Sports is very, very confident. They shoot into the goal. They have come to the realization that the goalkeeper is not wholesome, and so they're really charging at him.
Corner comes in, heads go up, and it is still with St. John Sports. Played across by Andrews. And that's the kind of difficulty that Honved is having just to clear the ball out of the danger area.
As the game progresses, Honved has not had an opportunity to have a counter attack. I don't know if you're watching, Lester. The goalkeeper seems to be having a lot of problems in terms of his positioning. I want you to have a look at when the ball is within the periphery of the goal. Watch his movements.
And then also his judgment in the air is very,
Very
very
poor.
poor, yeah. And give Chevon Sampson a chance here. He could dribble the entire field this evening. And he's been given a lot of opportunity to be in control of the ball. The shot comes in here along the ground. Clearance here now by Honved. That would be an obvious foul here committed by St. John Sports. Honved moving forward now with Abraham. Looking to find his man outside right, unable to do so. Andrews it is now, making the run forward from the back. Finds Philip, who's always outside left here. Early cross. Again, we see Pompey with some difficulty here now in timing the ball properly. Looking to play this long one forward here, only to find goalkeeper Houston, who's going to start it from the back for St. John Sports. Looking to find Philip, finds Philip here, who's in the middle of the field now. Phillips look to flick this one forward, but the pass was not a good one. Pompey is going to have the goal kick here for Honved. Honved looking to build from the back and come forward. Looking to find an overlapping left winger, unable to do so. So a one goal advantage for St. John's Sports may very well allow them to compose themselves a little bit more, feeling that they one goal up and having more possession. We may just see a better style of play from them.
Well, they are very confident at the moment. If you watch the structure of play, you can see that they're well rehearsed. They have a game plan. It's working because they've been pressing Honved for the last 5 or 10 minutes. Honved is under a lot of pressure at the moment. This guy Phillips is a handful for the right back. He's always having the ball crossed in, so Honved will have to work very hard to score to start with, but also to defend the amount of challenges that they're having. If you notice at the moment here now, there's no Honved player. The defense is very easy, and they're under no pressure. They're moving the ball from the left to the right, and Honved is having a lot of difficulty in coping with that.
The nutmeg here as he goes past a second player and been brought down in the process here. That was Shaman Williams. Youngster here for St. John Sports. McPhail, back to McPhail here, who looks to slip this one forward for Sampson. Sampson gets it now and looks for his man, but 3 defenders converge on the Koto, and it's going to be another corner for St. John Sports.
Pompey is having a lot of work in the defense, in the Honved defense.
Well, St. John Sports is coming at them on a very frequent basis. So every time Pompey recovers from one attack, there comes another one.
Yeah.
And then he has to deal with a Chevon Sampson, a Decoto, a Phillips.
Yes.
You know, so it's a lot.
From left and right and coming through the middle. And even the midfielder for St. John Sports is, he's playing very well. He's having a great game.
The heads go up here. It was Sampson again looking for the second goal. And he only was able to head it into the lap of one of the Honved's defenders. And it's going to be a corner from the other side of the field for St. John Sports. Phillips is going to take it. He's going to curl this one away from goalkeeper Cooper. Finds his man with the header, but good defending here. And
It's a
there we
goal.
get the second goal. Chevron Sampson again, it looks like. Is it Sampson? I don't think it was Sampson. No, it's not Sampson on this occasion. And it looks as though it was Cabido Langain who would have found the second goal here in what looks like the 38th minute of play. So there was a header, there was a partial clearance, and then the shot came in. It's still a little bit difficult to see who actually had the shot and goal. It could have been Langain.
It's Langain. But again, the positioning of the goalkeeper.
And then his judgment in the air is not so good, so he is very circumspect about challenging any balls in the air. So
Precisely.
that goal came off the corner, and he really didn't even contest the ball.
He was not in a position to save that ball. But the St. John's sports players are cognizant of, of the quality of goalkeeping. So they every opportunity they get, they're challenging him. They're kicking the ball to goal.
So it was actually Sherman Williams who scored in the 38th minute of play. Player number 6. For a moment I thought it was Cabido Langain, but it was actually Sherman Williams.
Yeah. Actually, St. John's Sports is one of the favorites for this tournament. So there's no surprise the score line at the moment and the quality of football that they're playing. And as we alluded to prior to the start of this encounter, that based on the seedings and the draws, that we'll have a weak team coming up against a stronger team.
A poor first touch there from Terrell DeCoto. Robbed him of an opportunity for goal. Had he had a better first touch there, could have been goal number 3 for St. John's Sports. So what we see happening now, Patrick, is that Phillips is moving from left to inside and then back out and making those cross runs, those semi-runs, so to
He's
speak.
causing a lot of problems for Pompey and those in the defense, or the Honved defense. They are unable to mark him. If you notice, he's always on mark. There he is again, he's on mark.
Honved, Ellis. Goalkeeper Houston.
It's going to be a long night for Honved.
Well, we're just under 5 minutes left in regulation time in the first half. As we see here now, Terrell Thomas going down. Seemed to have sustained a facial injury. What is game number 2 on day 1 of the Waggy-T Super Knockout? You remember, it's knockout, so you must win to stay in contention. And Honved finding themselves trailing 2 goals down in the first half would be in maybe a most disadvantageous position now.
It's not as treacherous as the Sun Jets were at this time or this stage in the first half, in the first encounter. Nevertheless, they're playing against a very strong team. St. John's Sports has been a team over the last 10 years that has been right up in the top 3 or 4 teams on the island in every competition. So 2-0 down for Honved is a worry, but it's not as bad as the first encounter.
So it's live football action here at the Kirali James Athletic Stadium. 11th anniversary of the Waggy-T Super Knockout Tournament. This is the second match of the tournament between Honved and St. John's Sports.
Terrell Thomas has just received some treatment from the medic, and he's getting ready to take his place back on the field. Honved is now playing with 10 men.
But here they come with the 10 men. Still have an opportunity here. The left footer comes in. Not a good one, but still with Honved inside of a dangerous position. And it was Raymond Thomas who opted to cross this one. But he had a little bit of time as well because he looked up, composed himself. But in the end, he was closed down by the defense for St. John Sports.
So it was a good passage of play for Honved.
But it's now with St. John Sports who look to build something and come out of the defense here.
You see the skill set I was just talking about? The ball went to the Honved player. He didn't control it properly. The ball came off his legs and he had to fight to control it. And at this level of football, you must try to keep the ball when it comes to you. That's the first rule.
Well, straight out of the coaching manual, they would tell you you had to be able to control the ball.
Yes, certainly.
Phillips being double team, so to speak. And that was Akimo Andrew who didn't make the good pass here, but the ball given away by Honved. So there's going to be more Waggy-T Super Knockout games during the week. I think
Thursday.
after tonight, it resumes on Thursday. So it'll be
Friday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
And Sunday.
and Sunday. And so there's a lot to look out for. Tomorrow there are going to be 2 games. I think Telescope comes up against
Springs.
Javon Sampson, top of the penalty area. Goes back and finds some support. Looking to find Phillips outside wide. The pass is not a good one. And it's going to be a goal kick for Honved.
Smithy, I obviously thought that this half went very quickly. And I thought the reason for that is the quickness in which the game. Actually, it's the first half. The whistle has gone in the first half. And so it's 2-0 in favor of St. John Sports. That's GTC FM St. John Sports. What is your evaluation of the first half and the quality of play in comparison to the first game this afternoon?
Well, I thought both teams took quite a bit of time to settle down. The team that settled down first was obviously St. John Sports, and they applied a lot of pressure on the back line of Honved. Honved, with maybe the lesser known players, really held their own to a certain extent to be able to deal with the barrage of attacks that came from the St. John Sports. Nonetheless, they were able to concede 2 goals. The first one, I thought it was from a defensive blunder from the goalkeeper. Poor judgment, and then the second goal came off the corner from a crowded penalty area. But it's going to be, from the looks of it, it's going to be a victory for St. John Sports. Honved will be hard pressed here now. But again, football is a game of 2 halves. The first half is completed. And we know Coach Ali DeBellet is a tactician. He assesses the game very well. And maybe he can come up with a strategy that can deal with the style of play of the St. John Sports.
In the context of Honved, I have not seen anything in the first half that give me reason to believe that they will score. They've been competitive, and based on the score line, we can allude to that fact. But they have not been in the area of the St. John Sports for any lengthy period of time. They have not looked challenging. Actually, their forwards are not aggressive. So, as you said, probably it looks a victory for St. John Sports, but it's football, and anything can happen going forward.
Well, the stats tells the picture. St. John Sports 11 shots on goals as compared to 3 from Honved, and 9 corner kicks for St. John Sports, none for Honved. So the scoreline also tells the picture. It's 2-0 in favor of St. John Sports. The first goal came in the 29th minute from Chevron Sampson, and the second goal in the 38th minute from Sherman Williams. We're going to be back with more live action on the other side of the half. So we ask you to stay tuned, and we'll be back with more action. We leave you with 2-0 in favor of St. John Sports. More football action when we return.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Is it too early to celebrate Christmas? No, not really. Because on Sunday, November 1st from 6 p.m., Megaforce Promotions presents the massive Christmas in November Bingo Online. And get this, you can win a whopping $20,000. Tickets cost only $20. Available now on gotofet.com or numerous box offices island-wide. And if that's not enough, look out for a live performance by Terra the Governor. Terra the Governor. Sunday, November 1st. Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy-T Virtual Bingo. The new way to play bingo.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Is it too early to celebrate Christmas? No, not really. Because on Sunday, November 1st from 6 p.m., Megaforce Promotions presents the massive Christmas in November Bingo Online. And get this, you can win a whopping $20,000. Tickets cost only $20. Available now on gotofet.com or numerous box offices island-wide. And if that's not enough, look out for a live performance by Terra the Governor. Terra the Governor. Sunday, November 1st. Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy-T Virtual Bingo. The new way to play bingo.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy-T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Shivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granand, St. George.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call Waggy-T Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Granand, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy-T Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people.
Your skin
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy-T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Is it too early to celebrate Christmas? No, not really. Because on Sunday, November 1st from 6 p.m., Megaforce Promotions presents the massive Christmas in November Bingo Online. And get this, you can win a whopping $20,000. Tickets cost only $20. Available now on gotofed.com or numerous box offices island-wide. And if that's not enough, look out for live performance by Terra the Governor. Terra the Governor. Sunday, November 1st. Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy-T Virtual Bingo. The new way to play bingo.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy-T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call Waggy-T Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy-T Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people.
Skin
Good evening again and welcome back to the second half of Game 2 on day 1 of the Waggy-T Super Knockout Tournament. A game featuring CK's Honved and GTC Radio St. John Sports. The score at the halftime interval, 2-0 in favor of St. John Sports. And to bring you the live commentary is Keith Patrick and myself, Leslie Smith. Keith, what do you think the coaches would have been saying to the teams during the halftime interval?
Well, quite frankly, I think the St. John Sports coach would be happy with the performance of the team in the first half. I think the coach for Honved will first of all have a lot to say about the defense, the quality of goalkeeping, and the lack of possession in the first half. And so Honved will have to try to do much better, try to have more. We have not seen any attacks or turnovers by the Honved team, and I think this is something that they will have to look at in this half if they want to be competitive, and if at all they want to come out here with a point.
Again, dubious goalkeeping here by goalkeeper Cooper for Honved. But just to let you know, 2 substitutions have been made by Honved, and coming out was Chow Lewis, and he has been replaced by Christian Alexander. Also coming out was Terrell Thomas, and he's been replaced by Axel Joseph. St. John Sports. Sampson inside of the penalty. He has a shot on goal, and maybe a timely save in here by goalkeeper, but he's trying to recover. Does so now, but Chevron Sampson had a nice sight on goal, had a cracker, and maybe goalkeeper Cooper really equal to the task as well. A little credit to Cooper on this occasion, Patrick.
I would give him a little credit because the ball didn't score, but still his positioning is left much to be desired. I think he's a little bit nervous in the goal. Probably this could be maybe his first competition, but he hasn't impressed me as someone who is confident in goalkeeping. I think certain attributes about his goalkeeping too leaves a lot to be desired. Nevertheless, let's hope for a better half, a better quality of football. And I want you listeners to know that you're watching TNR Communications, a network streaming live football and much of the activities that takes place here on the island.
St. John Sports down the left-hand side, and that's with Andrews. Andrews crossing, a goalkeeper comes. He loves to punch that ball for whatever reason. He doesn't like to take it on the first attempt.
No, I wonder if it's any form of timidity clashing into players or so. A goalkeeper has to be very stout, he has to be resolute, and he has to be confident.
It's a
because
strange
he's the last line of attack in the team.
It's some
I'm saying attack, a last line of defense in the team.
So Coach Joey Kellis really has his work cut out for him to see how Honved can withstand the challenges here.
That's a stupid play.
And look at what the defense has just done. I mean, incomprehensible.
Yeah, take the ball from almost outside. Well, you better either kick it outside.
Honved making some substitutions. Looking to strengthen the offensive lineup here. Ball is still with Honved. Very optimistic attempt here from way out. Game continues, both teams looking to put the ball long on the carpet. It is St. John Sports who does so. The ball continues to be exchanged between both teams. Now St. John Sports has it. And that was Sherman Williams, maybe trying to do a little bit too much on that occasion.
A great tackle by Miles Romaine.
Houston goes out wide to find Paisadi. Paisadi finds Shamain, who looks to find Phillips on that outside left position. But the ball is with Raymond Thomas for Honved. Still with Honved. Looking to come forward through Ellis. Finds Alexander. Fresh legs of Alexander. But Phillips has it and plays it out wide. Time and space. Long looping pass here. Looking for McPhail. And Dakota. But here's a breakthrough here by Honved. The referee's assistant indicating an offside here. But a threat of some sort by Honved.
Certainly. Nice through ball. Good intent. A good skill from the player, but unfortunately he was offside. St. John Sports is not playing with the urgency that they started the game off with. And quite obviously they wanted to put some goals past the Honved goalkeeper. But they're playing very confident. The structure of play is well. They're holding the ball well.
Again, a fumble take here by goalkeeper Cooper. But Chevy Sampson making the good move down the left-hand side. And Sampson is one of those players that can go fast and just shut off and then pick up speed again. And can be very elusive for defense.
Certainly he has impressed me tonight.
Was able to get the cross inside and fumbled by the goalkeeper. But here comes Honved looking to apply some pressure on the defensive lineup here for St. John's Wood. Akimo Andrew came away with it and find Philip down the left-hand side. Appeal for ball going outside. The cross comes in now, not a good one, over the bar. And it's going to be a goal kick for Honved.
I don't think that the Honved defense would be happy. There'll be a low level of confidence based on the muffling of the ball by the goalkeeper. It's one thing when you have a good goalkeeper that you have confidence in. Sometimes you could even take chances to go forward because the confidence in your keeper, you know that he will pull off good saves, he's competent. But at this stage, the goalkeeper for Honved, and I hope I'm not just knocking him, but he has not really impressed with his quality of saving here tonight.
Well, Chevron Sampson, recognizing exactly what you're saying, had that long shot from outside there. And I'm sure he's thinking that with the quality of the goalkeeper, he can take his chances.
Certainly, he feels he might fumble the ball, he might muffle it.
As we see here again, from way out, Sampson having a shot on goal, trying to elude goalkeeper Cooper.
The number 20 for St. John's Sports, that's Cody McPhail, seems to be having some problems. Is that a groin muscle?
Looks like an ankle injury.
Yeah, he's hopping on the field. Nevertheless, he's not going off. He's up and running. The hallmark of a strong, fit player. And he has great responsibility in the midfield and defense for St. John's Sports, so he wouldn't like to be going off at the moment unless he does have to. Good movement by Honved on the ball here.
That's Ellis going out wide. Looking for Romain, found Romain, and Romain trying to go around the defense, was unable to do so. But Romain was in a position where he didn't have much support.
I thought he should have crossed the ball immediately. There were 200 or 300 players moving forward. He had enough space and time to cross the ball. Instead, he trying to beat and lost.
Control and losing the ball here. Shot comes in from way out. Was never really going to challenge goalkeeper Houston. He really lacked power and direction. Seems as though a double substitution will be made here by St. John Sports. The Koto seems to be coming out, and replacing the Koto is Akimo Abraham, and also coming out is Akimo Andrew, and he's replaced by Clinton Andrew. So a pair of fresh legs, maybe 2 pairs of fresh legs by St. John Sports to offer something different to Honved. Honved themselves are making a substitution, and we see that Giovanni Nicholson, the player, will be going in, and the player coming out is Miles Romain. So the players restarted. And Samson looking to get around his man. Unsuccessful on this occasion, but nonetheless, he wins a corner for St. John Sports.
The first corner of the second half.
Corner taken, cleared by Honved. As they look to push out now with a counter attack of some sort, but it runs out of space here. And that's Raymond Thomas. Throw to be taken by Kiwani Marshall. Marshall looking for Sherman Williams, who had some difficulty controlling this one. Still 2-0. That was the score going into the halftime interval. We're into the 57th minute of play.
Substitution for Honved. Number 17, Miles Romain left the game. Number 21, Giovanni Nicholson.
So there's not much happening on the pitch in terms of attractive football,
No,
Patrick.
and in terms of constructive play, St. John Sports having the better of the encounter. Oh, this is a very good attempt. This is a lovely attempt. Good left foot shot.
And that's maybe the real chance or level of optimism that Honved has, because
this is a good shot. Look at this. It's just going about 2 or 3 meters past the goal. This is a good attempt. The goalkeeper wasn't aware that he was going to kick. If that was on target, he would have scored. But it was a good attempt by Honved. Yeah, this passage of play right now is just normal. Not much aggression. The Honved team is still trying to get their first goal. They're having a lot of difficulty in penetrating the defense of the St. John Sports, which has been rock solid for whole night. And it's going to be a hard task. So it does a couple, maybe 40, 38 minutes or so to go. Honved will have to do something very mysterious. They have not shown anything indicative for the night that they really can score. But this is football, and let's give them the opportunity to see what they can produce.
Coach Ali DiBella will be thinking that he has 1 foot already in the second round, and may just wait for the clock to count down. First yellow card of the match, and yellow card been issued to Kiwani Marshall in the 59th minute of play.
It's actually the first yellow card of this year's tournament, because there were no cards issued in the first encounter. Honved has an opportunity to do something productive at the moment.
So Richard Abraham we see what, maybe 200 players in real contention here, so obviously he's going towards goal, but from that distance out he's going to take a really powerful shot up in the V or something like that to go past goalkeeper Houston. But the intention was clear. Once we saw only 2 players in real contention for a
you
pass,
know that the shot was going to goal.
Honved winning a free kick in the middle of the field. Richie Bruno is going to take the kick for them. Looking to slip a nice ball forward, looking for the likes of Giovanni Nicholson. Just came onto the pitch. Chevy Sampson looking to thread this one through. Unable to do so. Honved with it yet. Nicholson looking to find his man in the middle of the field. Getting some poor touches by some of the players. What is more? Who finds Richie. Tough challenge here. Referee Roberts. So Honved in the white and green and the St. John Sports in the blue. 2-0 in favor of St. John Sports. It's the second game in the 2020 Waggy-T Super Knockout Tournament. And winner goes on to the next round. Losers go home. That's the nature of this tournament.
Harsh. Because I guess a lot of these teams been preparing for a very long time. But nevertheless, that's what knockout is about. And I guess all the coaches and the team management and everybody is aware.
So the players really broken down now. At the beginning of the match, we anticipated that we would have seen maybe a game of a much higher standard than the previous one. Maybe it is indeed, but
it is a higher standard, but not one that you know is eye-catching.
Good move by Sampson here. He's still within the danger zone. The shot may come in now, but maybe trying to do too much with the ball. There was Sherman Williams.
Brilliant play.
Give Chevy Sampson a chance. He would dribble those defenders all day. Player goes down. And the player has been stopped there. And that is Cody McPhail.
McPhail is having some difficulty with his muscles.
So the football action continues tomorrow, Patrick. There's going to be another 2 games. And then it resumes again midweek on Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So you football fans have quite a lot to look forward to. We just came from the Partygrenada Cup, and before that we had the GFA Clubs tournament. And now we have the much anticipated Waggy-T Knockout tournament. So a lot of football is out there for you. And there are some age group football that is also being played on weekends.
The over 40, etc. A lot of football is being played in Grenada, but somehow it is not reflective on the quality that we are having, and that could be attested to the fact that when our national team has to play, we always have to resort to the outside players coming back to do off it, and it says something about the quality and standard of our game here on the island.
Again, the punching effort by goalkeeper Cooper may be warranted on this occasion because he was really stepping close to the edge of the penalty area.
He seems to fancy the punching of the ball.
I think what St. John Sports has not been doing in the second half, which they were doing with great effect in the first half, was playing out maybe a little faster.
Yeah, more aggression. Yeah.
And looking towards Philip on the left-hand side a lot more. They're really not really gone to Philip so much on the left-hand side as they were doing in the first half.
So far in this half, he has not made an impression. Actually, I think he must have had one or two occasions where he had an opportunity to cross, but he has not been in the play. Most of the play is going on the right-hand side and coming down through the middle.
And then a Cody McPhail, who was actually marshalling the midfield, he's not been featured too much in the midfield now. So it's either they telling themselves that there are goal opportunities out there and they're going for it. And so the structure has really broken down. But a coach as Ali Bellot, I think that he would have a better control of this situation and structure his team properly.
There's a probability also that they are 2 goals up, and based on the play on the field, they are telling themselves that they don't see that Honved scoring on them, which is a falsification. This is football. But Honved has not been actually pressing them. They have not been giving you and I, who doing the commentary on this game, any indication that they probably could score. Quite frankly, they have had some shots on goal which were very wide and high. So I think probably the guys from the Western outfit may be satisfied and settle with a 2-0 situation.
Let's see what Honved can put together on this occasion. Poor effort here as Philip makes a nice pass down the line, looking for his overlapping defense. And some good defensive work. Nonetheless, it is Clinton Andrew who would win a throw here for St. John's Sports. Poor pass here now by Abraham. Honved. I've not had the best of seasons in the Waggy-T tournament for quite a while. They've always been booted out in the first round. The shot comes in here again.
Great effort.
Looking to take the snapshot. Yeah. Not well directed. Trying to make a solo run here is Akimo Abraham. Let's see what Sherman Williams can do here now. Looking to take the shot in a crowded penalty area. Chevy Sampson has it, you know. He'll try to weave his way through. Unable to do so. It's going to be goal kick here for Honved.
Honved is absorbing a lot of pressure in this passage of play. And they're finding it very difficult to keep the ball for any length of time in the St. John's Sports area. And certainly that will take away a lot of effort, a lot of footing from these players, and they're already under a lot of pressure. It's going to be difficult for them. Nevertheless, they still have some time. They still have some time to make an effort. It's all St. John's Sports.
And that just sums it up here for Honved. It's just a pressure game for them, and they're going to
just cleared, and probably must have hurt himself in doing so. He's down. I hope it's not a twisted knee.
Keith, I would have thought that the experience of a Chevy Sampson, a Cody McPhail, and the likes would have really taken control of the game and dictate the pace at which the game would go and control what's happening there. As we see the substitution being made by St. John's Sports.
2 substitutions.
McPhail comes
is
out
for number 7.
That's Dwight
Joseph. And another substitution was made. But to come back to the point that you were just making, in your view, playing under lights and playing in the daytime, what is your view? Do you think that playing in the sunlight and playing in this kind of light, does it have a different effect on the players?
Well, obviously there will be different effects. Whether or not it gives one an advantage over the other. For example, in the day, the temperature is hotter,
Yeah.
right? So you have to exert a lot more. In the night, when you don't have natural daylight, obviously the human body has to react to
To the
that. As the shot
temperature,
comes in
yeah.
here, just wide, and so the quality of the light again can affect that. And the time of the day. Normally, you do all of these things in the day.
In the day,
You know,
you're training and
the
everything. That's why I asked that question.
the
Yeah.
body's conditioned
You
to
know.
operate at that time
Yeah.
of the day. So there are the pros, there are the cons, and at the end of the day, is who adjusts quickly and better
To the conditions.
to the conditions.
Actually, I've had a conversation with Chassis, that's just a alias, and he's the president or vice president of the St. John Sports. And he said to me that they do train sometimes in the night because they are aware that some of these competitions are in nighttime, and so they'll have to make the necessary preparation for that.
So St. John Sports here with the ball. Nice little flick on here. The shot comes in, not a good one, but again a good a series of passes and a good passage of play here for St. John Sports. Just under 20 minutes remaining in this one. And this is the second game in the tournament. Honved looking to come forward. Has a lot of space outside right. The ball could have been played a little bit more forward. Defense has to be careful here. Danger area, not the advantage, not really been capitalized on here by Honved. That was Raymond Thomas. He really picked up a loose ball inside of the penalty area, and maybe he could have opted for a snapshot. But in the end, he was trying to gain full control of the ball, allowing the defense to recover. Seems to be a long throw to be taken here by Axel Joseph. But cleared away here now by St. John Sports. Nicely taken down here by Honved. Good rushing and aggressive defensive work. Find Sampson now. A nice 1-2. Not a good pass here by Sampson. And some good recovery work by Honved. Goes out to find Axel.
Honved has become very busy. I think they're recognizing that time is elapsing, and so they're making an effort to try to at least get a goal or at least to equalize the situation.
Well, I see Sherman Williams going down, grabbing onto the hamstring area, and that is not always a good sign when you see an athlete grabbing onto the hamstring. And I hope he's okay. Sampson has it. As we see, Williams been given some attention on the touchline.
This could be a cramped situation.
Again, the fitness level of the players comes into question here.
This is why I actually question you on whether there's a difference in the hot sun and the nighttime playing, because the temperature is different, and so it could have an adverse effect on certain players. And also, a lot of these guys play a lot of football. It's not like 10, 20 years ago when we only had 1 or 2 competitions to play. A lot of football, a lot of area community football, and then we have the Pure Grenada Cup and a lot of other competitions run by the Grenada Football Association. And it's going to be very hard for a lot of these guys, and the fitness level is something that the coaches will have to take into serious consideration.
So we're looking for some goal mouth action, end-to-end stuff, so to speak.
Yeah, some kind of, speed. But I don't think we're going to see that, because just watching on the field, a lot of players seem to be very, very exhausted. St. John Sports with a 2-0 lead seems to me kind of, they will love to score again, but they seem sort of content.
So
This is an opportunity.
A fortuitous approach here by Chevy Sampson. Had a shot on goal, but directed straight to goalkeeper Cooper. Fumbled a bit Cooper, but was safe enough on this occasion. Goalkeeper Houston, well composed, not having any difficulty whatsoever tonight. Phillips.
He's a very confident goalkeeper.
Looking for some support here. Finds Chevy Sampson. Sampson is looking for support himself. Dribbles one, dribbles two. Still fighting for it inside of the penalty area. The referee whistle goes. Player down. Wondering why the referee would want to stop play when St. John's supposed to have had the ball. It's not a head injury where it's a compulsory stop by the referee. It's maybe a questionable decision here by the referee to stop play for an opposing team member who is down.
Certainly. He's in great agony. A lot of these guys having a lot of cramps.
It's like Cody Andrews.
A lot of cramps.
Yeah, that's cramp. That's cramp there.
Yeah.
So the level of preparation and the fitness level of the players is showing up here tonight.
Certainly. It showed up in the first game, and again it's showing up here. Doesn't seem that he will be able to come back on the field of play.
So we had 2 goals in the first half, and you know the expectations were that we're going to see some more goal scoring opportunities and maybe some more goals as well. But we've yet to see any goal in the second half and any real attempts. I think the only real person who has shown intent on scoring in the second half is Chevy Sampson for St. John Sports. So whereas Phillips, Captain Phillips, Oswald Phillips, was impressive in the first half on the left-hand side and creating some problems for the right back of Honved, he has not really come forward in the second half.
We haven't seen him in this half. Granted that he has not been fed a lot of service on the left-hand side. The game being played more in the middle and to the right side of St. John Sports, but he has not shown up. Oh, beautiful shot.
And goal, and
this is a beautiful volley. What a superb goal. I think it is the best goal of the night. A superb volley here tonight.
And that may have just come from the boot of Chevy Sampson. We'll have to double check that. No, it's not Sampson, actually it's the substituted Akimo Abraham.
That look as Cabo and Langain.
Cabido Langain.
Langain.
Yeah, it was difficult for me to see who took the shot.
But that was a superb volley. Good shot, well executed. The goalkeeper had no chance. In fact, he was not prepared for that shot. So it's a 3-0 situation here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in the 11th edition of the Waggy-T knockout competition.
So Sherman Williams has been substituted as we look back to see the third goal here. And look at that volley here. And the first attempt. Cabido Langain finding the back of that old onion bag and sending his team 3 goals up.
The health officials are having a lot of work here tonight. Another cramp situation. And it says of the fitness of the guys, the preparation for a kind of tournament like this. And Smithy, remember I alluded to at the start of our commentary, the fact that these teams like Honved do not have a real area I remember as a young man growing up around the area here, Honved had a ground, actually on the college ground, the area here where the stadium is. They had about 4 or 5 grounds. So Cherry Hill would use the bottom part, Point will use the other part. Carnage used to come up to the Queen's Park when the Tantine area was not available. Then you had Honved, and you had Queen's Park Rangers, and you had grounds. So actually the training of the guys, and there were more competition in football. And by competition, I mean more time to play. And I think this is one of the reasons why you're finding that these guys are not as fit as they should be for a quality of competition of this nature. For the night, is about 10 persons who have been coming down with cramp. And from my physical education experience, and as a person who taught that subject, is a problem. When you see guys having these cramps all the time, it's a serious problem. It means that they're not fit. The level of fitness required to play for 90 minutes. We watch international football, and you know what that is.
So a double substitution has been made by Honved. Shot comes in
nice
here.
Beautiful shot.
And
from
a good save by Cooper on this occasion. So some...
Langain is very, very confident about his shooting. This is an excellent shooting.
And that's Kabido Langain. So I guess he's maybe trigger happy now. He just scored a goal.
Yeah.
It was a very good attempt by Langain.
You know, Honved is losing, but I think Pompey had a very, very good game. His workload in the defense for Honved was tremendous tonight. And I think he played as well as he could have. There wasn't really great help, but you could see the effort that he's putting in. And certainly he has a certain level of skill in butting and trapping and getting rid of the ball. So he's going to be out of the competition. But probably whatever competition, when the GFA competition and the conference level starts again, he's one of the guys that Honved should be able to depend on.
So St. John's Sports wins this ball in the middle of the field. Long pass out left looking for Phillips.
In these last moments, it seems to be a level of urgency by St. John's Sports again. And that's what happens when you score. You get a fever, you get a level of aggression, and an adrenaline steps in.
Another shot and goal here, this time taken by Tyrese Marshall. Looking to get his name on the score
pile on
sheet.
the pressure on Honved in the latter stages of the game.
Guess the youngster see an opportunity to get his name on the score sheet.
Certainly.
Here they come again, St. John's Sports. Phillips slows the game down. Finds his man overlapping on the left-hand side here. Gets the cross in, he loses goalkeeper, and he loses Chevron Sampson as well.
The Honved outfit is very, very exhausted at the moment. You can see the movement, or the lack thereof, quick movement. For instance, the ball was just played down on the left side, and the defense should have anticipated that. But still, the St. John's Sports player was able to get past him, and that shows a level of tiredness.
Well, we are approaching the 90-minute mark, and we see a number of players going down with cramps. So let's see who has the fresher leg. Chevy Sampson is there. He's been there from the start. He has a left foot cracker on goal, wide of the upright.
The keeper is very busy in the latter stages.
Goalkeeper Cooper would think that he had this goal covered. See the effort here from Sampson, but Cooper was right there to protect his goal. No real pressure on the back line for St. John's Sports.
Not at the moment. Honved is finding it very difficult to launch an attack.
So St. John's Sports is going to take some the time about it, but been hustled here by some fresh legs from Honved. Good passing put together here. Samson is going to try to get past Pompey. And good recovery work by the defense in tandem, so to speak. And Pompey was beaten.
Pompey has been good tonight.
There came in a Chevron.
So by all intent and purposes, two teams tournament will be over. Sun Jets from the Western Parish, they will be knocked out, given 13-0 in the first encounter. And Honved seemingly is going to be losing 3-0 here in the second encounter. So two teams going out of the Waggy-T competition. And during the course of the week, there'll be 3 or 4 more games. So it's going to be going down to the wire. And we'll start to see the better teams emerging.
Well, St. John's Sports may be thinking it's not over yet. They still have maybe 4 minutes left in regulation time. And they have an opportunity for a corner here. Phillips it is. Good nutmeg here by St. John's Sports. When will the shot come? Now it comes, but it rebounds off the defender, still within the danger area. Goes out wide to Phillips, but here comes the on-rushing defense here, hustling play, and really providing some relief here for Honved. Strength being used here by the St. John Sports.
Honved team is tired.
St. John Sports keep coming at them in numbers and with speed. More players collapse on the field. Looking to exhibit some skill. There is a youngster, Dwight Joseph. Number of players going down now, Keith.
Yeah, another cramp again. Smithy, this is a serious situation.
See, that's what happens when you don't pace yourself properly too, knowing what your conditioning is.
And also your limitations.
So they were going at it very hard from the start. And of course, the muscles are retaliating now to saying.
But also, I would take into consideration that this tournament, the coaches and assistant coaches and by extension the management team has the opportunity to have 5 substitutions. And I would think that when you're in a position like that, you try to at least rest some of your good players because it's a unit you have. And most of the team, you wouldn't expect every player to be at the same level. But at least the persons who make up your 15 or your 20 players should have that level of play that you lead in now. And as a coach, you can have the assessment that you don't think Honved is playing any way constructively to score. So you can rest some of the guys who have already played 90, 80 minutes, you know, and knowing that you are going to be going forward in another stage of the tournament. I would have thought that maybe Mr. DeBella could have done that.
Well, it may be too late now to give that consideration as we're down to the dying stages in regulation time, and I believe we may have maybe a 3 minutes or so been added on for stoppages. We did have quite a few stoppages in the second half, but it's up to the officials on the field to make that determination.
Smithy, you would be aware that sometimes, even though you think it might be too late and one of your good players getting an injury now, he might be out of the for the whole tournament. So it's best you save him and try to keep him fresh and keep a player of quality. Nevertheless, that's not for us to do. And the game is coming along to the dying stages. I thought that it was a better encounter than the first encounter. Surely by the scoreline is indicative, but probably we'll watch and see how the other teams play, and probably if we're back here another time, we can have a better assessment as going forward. What are the teams that we should really look forward to moving to the closer stages of the tournament?
Well, we expect a lot more exciting matches as the tournament unfolds. This is just day one, and so far we've seen 16 goals on day one.
Yeah, a lot of goals.
We will see some of the bigger known names emerge as well.
Certainly during the
Hurricanes,
week,
the Paradise,
yeah,
and so on.
the outfit from.
And that seems to be the end of the game. The referee whistle has gone to indicate the end of the game. It's a game that maybe didn't live up quite to the expectations we had. There were 2 goals scored in the first half, 1 goal in the second half, and not much goal mouth activity, as is actually the game would not much goal mouth activity, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
So Honved came in as the underdogs, really didn't show us that they were hungrier for victory than St. John Sports, and St. John Sports was rest comfortable tonight knowing that they through to the second round.
I didn't think that Honved had the firepower up front to really challenge the St. John Sports defense. They played a mediocre game. Certainly that might give the coach some impetus to go forward and continue and probably look for the other tournaments. But I was just watching as the game ended there, and something I did not see in the other game, the sportsmanship. You know, when you finish playing, you greet your opponent with grace and thing. In the first game, I didn't see that, and actually that thought process went through my mind, but it didn't come to me again until I was just looking at this there, and all the guys from St. John Sports were greeting the guys from Honved, the referees and thing, and certainly that is a good thing when it comes to sport.
Well, we've come to the end of the second game on day one between Honved and St. John Sports, a game that St. John Sports dominated for the most part and scored 3 goals. Honved didn't get on the score sheet at all, and so it's curtains call for them. They will have to regroup and come again next year. St. John Sports lives to fight another day. They will know who they'll be coming up against shortly. There'll be a number of games on the weekend. Tomorrow there'll be 2 more games, and during the week from Thursday on to Sunday there'll be several more games. But we will break for here and come back with you with more live commentary at the semi-final stage. So we encourage you to come on down to the Kiriani James National Stadium and witness the games for yourself and experience the atmosphere here for yourselves. So until such time, we look again back at the statistics. 6 shots on goal by Honved as opposed to 23 shots on goal by St. John Sports. 12 corner kicks as against none, and 6 saves by St. John Sports as against 3 from Honved. So we're going to leave you with the final scores on behalf of the entire production team. Richie Olivier, Blondell, Curlan, Roger, Nazim, and Ron. Keith Patrick, co-commentator, myself, Leslie Smith. We say so long until we see you again. It's Waggy-T Super Knockout Football. Come on down to the National Stadium and enjoy exciting football.
Rogers and out.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Is it too early to celebrate Christmas? No, not really. Because on Sunday, November 1st from 6 p.m., Megaforce Promotions presents the massive Christmas in November Bingo Online. And get this, you can win a whopping $20,000. Tickets cost only $20. Available now on gotofed.com or numerous box offices island-wide. And if that's not enough, look out for live performance by Terra the Governor. Terra the Governor. Sunday, November 1st. Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy-T Virtual Bingo. The new way to play bingo.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center located on the Carnage is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy-T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Shivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granand, St. George.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.